Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be looking to repair a liquid damaged PS5 DualSense controller. Alright, so today we have a PS5 DualSense controller. This is from one of my friends. He sent it over to me. I think it's his brother's. He says it doesn't work. Maybe it's just a dead battery, but let's see if we can't get this thing open and repaired, or at least figure out if it is a dead battery. So to open up these DualSense controllers, this black plastic portion here needs to come out first. So we'll start by trying to get something in there. Alright, there we go. That's one side. That's the other side, and this should just lift up, follow along the contour to get the rest of the clips. Alright, then once you have that unclipped, it just comes out. And then we need to take off the R1 and L1 buttons. There's screws hidden underneath of those. There we go, got that one. And we got that one. Alright, so now there's two screws here, and there's two screws here. So we need a little tiny Phillips driver to get those out. I think that's what this is. It seems to work. And so after that, then we have two little clips here on the bottom. We need to disengage and push down, one on each side here. All right, with that, we now have access to the inside of the controller. So the first thing I typically would suspect is a bad battery. So we'll take that out. So we'll use the multimeter here and see if we can't get a reading on this guy. All right, so we're getting 3.82 volts on the battery, which I believe is correct. I don't know what it says. 4.2. So 3.8 is a little low. It might just be discharged, but the battery seems like it's at least putting out voltage, which is required for this thing to work. All right, well, I'd be curious to put the battery back in, give it a charge, see if anything happens here. So let me grab a USB-C charging cable. All right, so I have one of these USB testers. This tells you what voltage is being delivered and what the amp draw is. All right, so this just plugs into your USB charger, and then you plug your cord into it, and you plug that in, and you plug in your device. All right, so you can see we're getting about right around 200 milliamps at 5.2 volts, and this is on the one that we're looking at. So let me plug in a good one, see what the difference is. So this one we're getting about 0.88 amp. And with this one that we've disassembled, if we turn it on, you can see that we have orange lights indicating that it is charging. When we try to turn it on, it tells us that the controller is charging. So let's let it charge up a bit, see if that makes any sort of difference. All right, so it's been I guess about an hour and a half I've had it on charge here. The orange lights are still glowing, indicating that it is charging. But yeah, if we try to turn it on, it's as if nothing is happening. So the charge circuitry seems to be okay. We're still pulling about 0.08 amps at 5.3 volts, so that all looks normal. But I think there is an additional problem that isn't related to the charge circuitry here. So let's go ahead and continue taking it apart, see what we can find. All right, so we'll take the battery out. And then I think there is a number of screws we have to take out to get everything out of here and get access to the circuit board. We'll start with this one. I'm not sure if these are all the same size screws or not. Hopefully they are, because that would make my life a lot easier. That one definitely is. So that'll let us take battery holder out, and we can disconnect the force feedback. Looks like they're just hard soldered on. That's gonna make things a little more challenging, but nothing we can't deal with. So we do have a number of ribbon connectors here. So this is probably for the button assemblies. This is for the button assemblies, and this is probably for the touchpad. So I'm not sure if we need to take everything out to get the board out. It looks like we might. There's also some ribbon connectors here for, I think this is the microphone, and I think this is gonna be the headset port, maybe the button. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I think to get everything out, we got to take these out first. They're the same size as well. That's awesome. Thank you, Sony, for using the same size screws for everything. So I don't know what we need to do to get these out. Looks like the whole board's just going to come out now. All right, so I am going to disconnect the touchpad here. Let's pull it out, I guess. All right, we're caught up on something here. I'm guessing it might be this connector. So we'll take this out. Touchpad cable needs to go through here. And there we go. Let's leave all that there like that. So now we have all of this plastic on the top side. It looks like the board will just snap out here. And then we have the force feedback wires here. Let's go ahead and desolder those. All right, so we got the red one off on that side, the black one off on that side, the black one off on that side, and the red one off there. All right, so with those desoldered, we can pull the board out, set the assembly to the side there. So looking at this assembly, there are some contacts here on this ribbon connector that just sit on top of this, and It looks like we might have some liquid damage on there. Can't quite tell. There's something going on with that connection, I think. So first thing to do is attempt to clean that up. So what Sony did here is instead of having a ribbon connector connect all of the buttons on the top, including the PlayStation button, which is what turns it on, through a ribbon connector into the board, they just have, I don't know if you can hopefully see this, there's just this here, which sits flush against some contacts on the board. So that's really probably not a great design. And then on the board here, I can see that there's some crust around this area. I don't see any corrosion, I don't think. It all looks like it's okay. But there's definitely some crud in that area. So these contacts certainly aren't bright and shiny like I would expect them to be. So I might just give them a little bit of deoxit, just a touch there, and then we'll use a Q-tip to kind of just work that around on those contacts to see if we can't get any better connection between what we got here. But we'll also hit the ribbon cable here with some deoxit as well, just in case there's any sort of crud on there. And I don't know if you can see on the Q-tip, but we did definitely get some black stuff off of the board there. What's interesting is I don't see any other signs of liquid damage on this board, just right there. Let's go ahead and reinsert this board here. All right. And if we hit the PlayStation button, do we get anything? Let's just go ahead and plug it in and see if we get the lights. So we do get the orange light still. Let's unplug that. Disconnect the battery again. Let's switch over to continuity mode. And there's just no continuity on this button. All right, so if we plug this in with nothing else connected, we should get like no current draw. Yeah, 0.019 amps. In order to turn this on, I traced back the lines on the ribbon there, so we should be able to short out this tall one here and this third short one from the left, and that should simulate pushing the PS button. Okay, so doing that gives us two flashing orange lights. So I am guessing that is just no battery present or dead battery for two orange lights. So let's go ahead and plug the battery in, plug power in. I guess we don't need power, but it's showing us the charge, or it was. Let's go ahead and short out this pin and third over on the short one. And there we go. It's trying to boot up, but it's not paired to a PlayStation, or I can't find the paired PlayStation. So that indicates this controller board is working fine. The problem is the connection. Since we've proven that we can turn the controller on without this, just by shorting the correct pins, we know it charges okay, so the circuitry's okay. It's possible that we have a broken trace somewhere on this board, or that the pads are no longer electrically conductive. Now see if I touch these here, we do get a connection. So that's one trace, and if I touch this one here and touch it to here, we get a connection. So these connections on this pad are good. If I touch this one here and then touch it to pin 1, we get nothing. So it seems like there might be a break, because that's the one that should just go from right there to right there. And if I touch this connector here, I get a connection. If I touch here to here, I get absolutely nothing. So I'm pretty sure that somewhere along the line here, this trace is not fully connected. I don't really see anything. It's not a super long trace. Everything looks visually okay. The only thing that might be suspect is right here where it comes off and wraps around. Yeah, that is definitely going to be the problem. All right, so let me see if I can source one of these easily, and we can just check this other one. Third from me to the short pad. Yeah, and I got no connection there. All right, so I put this PS5 controller away for a little bit while I waited for some parts to come in. Well, one part in particular. And that part is now here. So I am ready to reassemble and see if we can't get this thing running. And then I have the replacement button matrix here. So this is the suspect one that I think is bad. So I won't throw it away yet, but I will put it off to the side near the trash. And then we now have our replacement one here. All right, so there's tab here, tab here, tab here, and a tab here. And those are what line things up. So we should be able to take this and feed the trackpad cable through. I'm just going to bend that a little bit so it's a little more straight. All right, and then to connect this one, there's tabs on both of these, so that should hold that there. And then we can insert the logic board, again moving all these cables to the side that are in our way here. This is one of those jobs where you need 4 hands. Be careful not to jiggle things out of alignment too much. Alright, so we can plug our trackpad in. We'll leave the rumble motors disconnected for now, but we will plug in side controllers, the side buttons. So the battery holder goes in. We can screw that down. That's going to hold the board nice and tight against those contacts. Let's go ahead and plug the battery in. So now, if we push the PlayStation button, it should turn on. And it has. So we'll need to hook this up to a PlayStation to do a full test, but that wasn't working before and it's working now. It's giving us the flashing blue because it can't find the PlayStation it's synced with. So I think we're good for full reassembly on this thing. Alright, so I've got my PlayStation turned on with my controller. Now if we take this controller here, plug it in, and turn it on, we now have it paired with this PlayStation. Alright, so it wants to update. This one obviously hasn't been updated in a while. Let's skip that for now. And we'll pick me. So yeah, it seems like so far all the buttons are working. But to be sure, let's play a little bit of Destiny. So we're just going to go ahead and fly on over to the EDZ, the patrol zone, and give this controller a little bit of a test. Oh, run works. The D-pad works. Start works. Let's see if we can shoot some of these guys here. Oh yeah. Grenades work. Beautiful. I think that's everything we want. And to top it off, we got us some glimmer. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully if you have a DualSense controller that you spilled some liquid on, this video has been helpful. Of course, liquid can get anywhere in a controller. On this one, it just took out the matrix for the buttons. Got a little bit on the circuit board as well, but it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. So keep liquids away from your controllers. Stay tuned for more videos, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hi guys! Make sure to like and subscribe, and watch more of our videos later. Bye!